All right. So does that mean you did not watch his interview with Karrion Kross?
A 10-minute answer to a 2-minute question. Yeah, no, I did not. I read the highlights.
Oh, okay. It was very good. It was very good. But the thing I've always said about Karrion Kross, I remember saying this to you once, is any kind of interview I've ever seen him in, like he just comes across, no pun intended, really well. Like he's very intelligent and well-spoken, very articulate, and just seems like a really good guy. And so and he comes across that way too in the interview with Ariel Helwani. Now, did you watch the documentary that's on YouTube? Killer Part 2 / My Contract Ended Today. Did you watch that?
I did not.
Also very good. I recommend it.
It's on my list.
Okay. Jenny and I watched it. We really enjoyed it.
The thing that, man, I'm torn on this again because it's a tough thing to say.
Okay.
My understanding is the crux in all of this, the breakdown, if you will, is that they offered Karrion Kross, but not Scarlett.
Yeah. She's a key part of the act.
And look, I get why he rejected that.
Yeah.
She is a key part of the act. They are married in real life. That is his wife.
Yeah.
And people have told me about Scarlett, and she is, as beautiful as she is, she's a nicer person. Like you can't, just, she's a doll and just so nice, so giving, even when she was on the indies. Like there are promotions that she's done free shots for.
Yeah.
While she was with TNA.
That doesn't surprise me because she comes across very well in the documentary. You know, obviously it focuses more on Karrion Kross, but in the documentary, she comes across as a really nice. They both do.
Also,
they come across as both really nice, genuine people. I believe
Karrion Kross's book has just been released as well.
Yes, and #1 on the sports listing of the New York Times Online or something, or Amazon or something. Apparently doing very well. Doing very well.
Now, in Life is Fighting by Kevin Robert Kieser, WWE superstar Karrion Kross.
Yeah. And apparently the book ends with, because this book was a long time in the making, it actually ends with him coming back, his previous return to WWE in 2022, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's where the book ends.
It is called Life is Fighting.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, Karrion Kross is a guy that he did it the hard way. He came up through the indies. Mm-hmm. He didn't go, he went through NXT, but he didn't have an in.
Right.
He did a couple Ring of Honor shows. Because WWE has traditionally poached Ring of Honor. If you don't believe me, Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Sami Zayn,
lots of people, yeah.
Kevin Owens, Cody Rhodes. You don't have the American Nightmare if it isn't for Cody Rhodes' Ring of Honor NJPW run.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you don't have the subject of this week's episode, AEW.
Right.
The point is that I think Kross by WWE management was always viewed as an outsider, not as someone that they groomed or they created. And the problem with WWE is they have, I think their backstage people and the guys at the top have a heavy sense of tribalism, whether they intend to or not. That if we did not create you, you're going to have a tougher road unless you just blow us away.
Mm.
And I think that that's what happened to Kross. The fans got behind him after that promo. My understanding is Hunter was not happy with the promo.
Yeah, that's covered in the he talks about that in the Ariel Helwani interview, that because he actually, the way he explains it, and I think they touch on this in the documentary too, the way he explains it is after the promo, because that was all planned with writers, just Hunter wasn't in on it. So after the promo, he told everybody, he said, okay, by the way, let's just make sure everybody internally in the company knows that was a work, and that I'm not really upset, and that I love being here, and let's make sure everyone knows that, because he was concerned. And then it turned out, he found out later that Triple H, in fact, was not aware, and that he was bothered by it.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's not on Kross.
No.
But he's going to take the heat for it. And if that's a part of Scarlett not getting a deal, shame on Hunter. Shame on Hunter. Because Hunter, I remember a time where you were a part of a work. It wasn't a work, but you were a part of something that was seen as detrimental to the business.
Mm-hmm.
And because you were the only guy that could be punished for it,
yep,
you were.
Right.
Because the curtain call, you're not going to punish Kevin Nash. You're not going to punish Scott Hall. They're out the door. Yeah, I mean, you could fine them, take money out of their last payout, I suppose. Sean's the champion. Who are you going to punish?
Right.
And he had to, his own words, eat shit and like it.
Yep.
And he lost winning the 96 King of the Ring.
Yep.
That went to Stone Cold Steve Austin. He won it a year later in 97, but it just, his career was set back by that, because he was on the fast track. He was an Intercontinental Champion. He had Mr. Perfect as his manager. I mean, it was uppity up for Hunter Hearst Helmsley before that happened. And so that just reeks of hypocrisy. If you're going to sit there and try to punish Kross for something like that, when you have long carried this chip on your shoulder for you having to take the brunt of the curtain call, then what the hell, man?
Yeah, it's just all very strange, because in the waning days of Kross's contract, his the book comes out, and he's doing these book signings. There's a lot of that in the documentary, and I guess his merch numbers went way, way up, and people wanted to see more Karrion Kross, and and apparently they did offer him a deal, but like you said, they didn't offer it to Scarlett, and Kross was questioning the money, and how did you get to this number? Let's continue this dialogue. And he explains in the Ariel Helwani interview that he was offered a deal, a new deal, did not include Scarlett. And when he asked, well, how did we arrive at this number? I'd like to see some analytics, because, he knows, he's selling a lot of merch. He was told he had to accept the offer within 24 hours or it would be rescinded. He wanted to continue the conversation. And 24 hours passed and the offer was rescinded, and that was it.
Well, and also, here's the other thing is he didn't have direct conversation with Hunter.
Right.
It was a go-between.
Yeah, a rep that was appointed by the company to handle the negotiation, is what he said.
In regards to your merch, I'm looking at Pro Wrestling Tees right now. 2 of the top 3 sellers of the week. Number 1 is Killer Kross's new shirt, Good Soldier. Number 3 is Scarlett Bordeaux's Hex Appeal t-shirt.
Good. I'm glad to see that. I'm glad to hear that. That's good for them.
What's in between? A signed limited edition deathmatch print drawn by Rob Schomburg, signed by Mick Foley.
Okay. So in the end, I mean, they're going to be fine. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they land in AEW, right, or something.
Well, AEW hasn't called.
Well, that came up too during the interview with Ariel Helwani.
I think a lot of people, a lot of organizations think it's a work.
Exactly, and that's what Karrion Kross said. Yep.
I mean, and this is the drawback when creative wants to work the sheets constantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They did it with the Seth injury. They've done it many times. They did it with CM Punk's return. When you do that, you can hurt your talent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's happening with Kross. Also, he's asking for an astronomical appearance fee.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
That can be dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, look, if there is, and let's keep in mind that TNA Wrestling probably is off the table because of their partnership with WWE, that more we hear may not be a partnership. They may be a secondary developmental.
Mm-hmm.
Because WWE is doing some really underhanded stuff with TNA in regards to our subject this week, AEW.
Yeah.
So TNA might not be an option for him.
Right.
I think for him, I would love to see him in New Japan.
Yeah.
I think him in New Japan would be amazing. He goes and works shows, and I guarantee you he would get an AEW deal.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Also too, you know, the hopefully whatever happens for him, you know, I think we're all rooting for him, and I hope good things happen quickly, because the other factor in this, and you know, this isn't as much of a factor as it would have been at one time, certainly, but he is 40, so it's not like he's a young guy who he's not a 25-year-old dude who, you know, had his big break and it didn't work out, so now he's got to go hit the indies for a while and then he'll eventually get back to WWE. We don't know, you know, at his age. I mean, he's in incredible shape. I'm sure he's got another decade in him, but we don't know. So I hope whatever does happen for him, not only do I hope it's positive, but I hope it's relatively quick.
Yeah, just one of the genuine good guys, and Scarlett, as I said, genuine good women or good persons in this business. Look, I felt the writing was on the wall with the way the SummerSlam match went.
Yeah,
because let's be real, Sami Zayn won in a quasi squash.
People keep calling it a squash. I don't think it was quite a squash. I
said quasi.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily endearing.
But you weren't going to have it wasn't going to be a 5-star Meltzer match either. Because one thing about Karrion Kross, I will say, you know, again, I say this gently because I like him very much. His ring work isn't great. Like, I can't imagine him going, like, you don't hear a "this is awesome" chant during a Karrion Kross match.
Right.
You know, he's okay.
He isn't going to give you a 40-minute clinic with Will Ospreay.
Right.
But wrestling needs those guys.
Right. Absolutely.
And what he can do, he does very well.
Right, I agree.
But I mean, I agree. He's a throwback big man.
Yeah.
And I think that's also a detriment to him with WWE, because WWE is going more towards this traditional work style, this shoot Japan style in some cases. Mm-hmm. And that comes with the guys that they've brought in. Again, Rollins, Zayn, Punk, that came up through Ring of Honor in the Indies. And that's what you work. You work snug, you work tight. You want it to look like a shoe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think I hope the best for him.
Yeah.
I'm very shocked Tony Khan has not made the call, because I think, you know, there is so many opportunities there.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
in AEW for him. I
Yeah.
mean, one, you mentioned being 40, reduced schedule for AEW.
True. Yep.
I mean, even if you just had him on Ring of Honor
Mhm.
for a while and built him up,
Yeah.
that could work. There
Yeah.
are so many things you can do with a guy like Karrion Kross and a girl like Scarlett.
Yeah.
Those two. You can do so
Absolutely.
much.
Absolutely.